This is video 1.3, Logistics Part 2. Now that we have covered the preparation needed for getting started with the logistics application, let's get started. There are 4 major steps you need to follow to use this application. 1. We first need to create an order or orders. 2. We need to distribute the orders among the units. 3. We need to understand how the unit goes through the routing process, or how the driver delivers the order. And 4, we need to generate reports. We can create an order in several ways, either manually, one by one, or we can import from a file and attach groups of orders at one time. I will cover each of these options. If doing one at a time, click Planning and New Order. First is the order name that is required. This is not the customer name, but the type of order. For example, depending on whether you were a delivery business or a service business, it could be the name of the delivery products such as jewelry, pharmaceutical, groceries, flowers, seafood, TV, washer, dryer, burgers, etc. If a service business, it might be drain for a plumbing company, air for an air conditioning company, heating for a heating and air company, drywall, lawn, or cleaning, to name a few. The address is also mandatory. You can put the address in manually or click on the address line to do a filtered search of addresses that may be associated with geo-fences that you can scroll through that will automatically populate. For example, it may be that a pharmaceutical delivery service has hundreds of small set geo-fences located around each of their residential customers that they deliver to from time to time, or if you are delivering jewelry, you might have geo-fences set around retail centers that represent your customer base. The geo-fences are not necessary, but options. Another option is that you can simply click on the map and you will create a location that will auto-populate the address section with the address. You have the option to add the total cost associated with the order, the volume required, the weight associated with the order, etc. You might say, well, why volume or why weight? But if you have vehicles, vans, pickups, various other truck sizes in your portfolio vehicles, you would want to make sure that you assigned the right vehicle based on weight restrictions or volume, for example. You should place an approximate amount of time for unloading as well. If you were a pizza delivery, most likely less than 2 minutes. Grocery delivery, maybe 10 minutes, but I think you get the idea. The radius is important as it is an extra tool that helps confirm delivery. For example, if you make the radius 200 feet around the target, it helps to confirm delivery has taken place, although you should also be notified by the drivers. They can sign or have the client also sign the receipt that service was complete on their smartphone, and that will be sent to you via your dispatcher application. Also, it is important to add the delivery date and time. For example, if it is for today's delivery, check today and add the time from which the delivery will start. In the delivery to section, add the time that the delivery needs to be delivered by. If it needs to be delivered within a 2-hour window, the system will automatically factor that delivery into the model. Notice that within the new order, you can make the order a single order or a permanent order. A single order means that it goes out once and after delivered will be transferred to history. A permanent order means that there is a possibility to deliver these orders repeatedly. This option is used to deliver on a regular basis. As mentioned, you can also attach a file to this order. For example, a receipt so that it can be available for the customer. You obviously need to add the customer name, phone number, and email. The phone number needs to be in an international format, meaning in the United States, you would start with a plus sign and then the 1, followed by the 10-digit number. This allows for the driver to contact the customer if needed. For example, there is a traffic problem and we are running about 30 minutes late, etc. At this point, you can either save and continue with another order or just save this order. Next, we will prepare a sample file with orders so that we can showcase this feature within our logistics application. We will open the Excel file that includes the delivery or service order information that needs to be managed in the logistics application. While you can put delivery or service orders directly into the system one at a time, most software applications that businesses use for their operations provide their clients the ability to download Excel files with the relevant data that would be needed for the logistics application. We should mention that you can place one at a time into the system as well as a separate data file. As we look at the Excel file we are about to download, for simplicity we have captured the following information. Name. This is not the client name, but the type of order or what the customer is to receive upon delivery. Address of the delivery. The date and time we want to start business that day, 8 a.m. for example, and the time of day we wanted to end business that day, for example, 6:30 p.m. It should be reminded that it is most important to have the address column, date and time to start column, and the time to end the delivery column, as they are critical components when it comes to logistics. In the next column, I place the estimated time segment in minutes that I would need to conduct that delivery or service. Next, the contact information, phone number, and what the purpose of the delivery or service is. We also can refer to the purpose column as a tag column, which can later be used to filter deliveries. Right now, I have them all as RX for a general classification. However, I will be more descriptive with this column later in the video. In this particular case, we have made the company a medical delivery service. Now that we have a list of orders, let's test the logistics application for the dispatcher. As the dispatcher, you need to chat with drivers, you need to upload orders, and you need to create routes. So open the logistics app as we discussed. In the management panel on the left, you see a chat option. When you click on chat, you will see the driver and the associated unit. At the bottom of the screen on the right, you can start your chat session. For example, "Hi driver 1, are you ready to make calls?" You can also send files to the driver if needed. At this time, we will not get a response from driver 1 until we test the mobile app. The next step is to upload the delivery or service order for the driver. We do this by going to the planning section and click on Import Orders. Prior to your importing your Excel order file, we suggest you convert it to a CSV, that's Common Delimited file. If your file is not in that format, just open the Excel file and use the Save As option. You will see a number of options available in the drop-down menu. It looks as follows. Choose the CSV Common Delimited file and save it. Once you save it, you may want to reopen the file just to make sure it was saved in a comma delimited format. You can now attach the file and click Import. Don't forget that you can create one order at a time in the system if you prefer, and in a moment we will also show you how to set up a template that will make it faster for your future delivery or service needs. Next, be sure to pay attention to the caution box and read it. While you have flexibility as to the order you structure your columns, you must have the address column, the time from column, and the time to column in this file. You should always have those columns in that sequence. Once you close the caution box, you see how you labeled the rows in the top column. Regardless of what you call them, the system needs to also identify them. At this point, Start at the top left drop-down menu and choose Name. In the next column, Address. This will take a moment to organize. In the next column, you would choose the time from, and next, time to, unloading time, client name, phone, cost associated with the order, and so on. Next, at the bottom, be sure and exclude the first line. This is very important because it would give you a false reading and potentially cause confusion. Normally, you would save the imported order at this time, but first I wanted to show you how to create a template to save you time in the future. Click on this template icon in the left corner. Name the template and click Save. This will save your column work so it will continue to be in that order in the future. Notice you also have an option to check a box for repeat orders. This example is for deliveries for today and will not be repeat orders. Now we check the top box. They are all selected and we hit Save. On the planning panel on the left side of your screen, you will see below the search bar that you can filter the orders by permanent or single. For now, we will keep all orders as a single delivery. You can also filter delivery by date. For example, you can go back and check a number of days prior to today's date to determine if there were orders that never got delivered. At the bottom of the calendar, you will see the number of orders that never got delivered. Notice those are still in today's cycle. Click OK and it will show them. You can edit them and delete them, but you can't distribute them without replacing them into the system for a delivery today or in the future. Notice that the orders that were not delivered for one reason or another have an exclamation point next to each order. In this case, there were none. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next video of the 1.3 series, Part 3.